Hello everyone, hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate those of you who watched this video. I hope you enjoy it. Also, appreciate my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Hopefully you're enjoying my reviews and you will continue enjoying them. So today we're going to be talking about The Trunk. This is a new series on Netflix. One thing I've noticed about the Korean shows on Netflix is if they come out weekly, they're more like more family friendly, I guess you can say. The topics are kind of light. The more generated around romance, and they're not too dark. And then those Korean shows, like they just dump all the episodes there at once so you can binge watch them on Netflix. They usually got like a darker tone to them. Like so far, that seems to be the theme. Like when they just dump all of them, you got a darker tone to them. Maybe, I don't want to say more mature, but there's more mature acts on the screen. For instance, this show has it's more sexual, get some nudity, a little bit more violent than what you see when they come out weekly by weekly. Definitely more sexual and more nudity. On the ones weekly, like I said, I think because they're simulcast on TV and Korean TV in here, so they don't have that extra mature activity on screen, if you catch my drift. And this one is darker. It is about contract marriages, but it's also like a murder mystery type of thing going on here, and you're trying to figure out who did the deed, who committed the act, I guess you can say. So one thing that was kind of confusing to me, let's get to the kind of like the bad parts of this, and then we'll end this on a high note, get you out here all fired up and happy about this movie. So let's get to the bad parts first, right? We'll get you all down and gloomy here. The bad part to me is if you're not paying attention right off the bat, you don't understand that there is two different time periods going on at the same time. So the investigation of a murder is going on in present day, and then the relationships that are going on, like there's two contract marriages happening. When it's focusing on those relationships, it's happened 5 years, I believe it says 5 years into the past, and then eventually the relationships and the modern day murder thing happening at the same time. So that can be a little confusing, especially if you missed at the beginning, or if you're like somebody like me, I didn't binge watch this. I watched it one episode at a time. That's why I'm kind of later on my review than most people would be. You kind of forget about that, and you're like, you kind of forget that the relationships are 5 years ago, and the police investigation who murdered this person is present time. So that can be a little confusing. And then the ending, no spoiler alert, but I don't know if the ending's going to be satisfying for the majority of the audience. I wasn't really satisfied with the ending. I either want a closer ending, or somebody dying in the end, something. And this was kind of open ending-ish, especially between two of the characters. They kind of leave it open, what's going to happen next into the future. So it's up to the viewer to decide if it's a happy ending or a sad ending type of thing. I don't really like those kind of endings. So that's what I say. This ending it's an open ending, and I don't know if it's going to satisfy the audience. But so let's get into this show. So yes, there's a contract marriage, and it's supposedly to help this guy with his past marriage. He's still in love with his ex-wife. They divorced. It's not really clear why they divorced. Well, it's not clear what the reason is behind the divorce, but it's clear why they did a divorce. This movie is about controlling partners. One of the spouses is very controlling of the other spouse. I'll just go give you a little what we call it, spoiler here. It's not a major one. You'll catch it right away. But like the wife of this relationship of the man is very controlling, and her divorcing and making him marry another woman is in a sick way, another way for her to control him. And she's making him do things throughout this series to confirm that she has power over him. And then there's a stalker involved in this series, And this stalker is another way of him trying to control the wife, the contract marriage wife in this. So you got that dynamic going through the 8 episodes, and basically, this contract marriage couple trying to break this spell that these people put over them. So that's kind of like where this movie's going. And then you have a murder mystery. Like I said, somebody dies, and then you're just trying to figure out throughout this series who committed the crime, who murdered this person. And pretty much though, you don't really care that this person died. You're probably rooting for this person to get killed by the time that it happens. You just want to know who should you give a good pat on the back, even though I do not condone revenge murders or anything like that. Only if they're on a movie or a TV show, but in real life, I think the police should handle it. And it's just a commentary about police and law enforcement. As the guy who is a stalker, he's kind of mental, and he should be locked away and let him go. Hey, isn't that what's going on in the world today, right? You got mental people walking the streets, cops arrest them, let them go. This is basically what happened to this guy. And then you have another commentary while this is about contract marriages, and it kind of focuses on 3 marriages. It's not really a pro-marriage show whatsoever, especially when it comes to the 3rd marriage. It's not really covered. It's probably maybe got 15 minutes of screen time throughout the 8 shows. But it is like the regular marriage or traditional marriage, and it's not a contract marriage. It's 2 people got married. They have children. And this wife, she's miserable because she is a housewife. She doesn't find any fulfillment in being a housewife and and raising her children. She feels like this is a waste of time, that her life is wasting. Would rather, be like a career woman than raising her kids. So it's very not traditional family oriented whatsoever. It's the message in that is that these housewives, raising your family, you get no fulfillment of it whatsoever. The 2 other women who are married, the ex-wife, she's in another marriage now, another contract. It's basically 2 contract marriages. She's in another contract marriage. She's a businesswoman. She has a good career. She's hustling and bustling, and she's happy doing it. But I mean, really, is she happy doing it? She's happy doing it. I guess you could say she's happy doing it. Or maybe, in a way, now I'm thinking about it, she is missing something. It's kind of reversed my take on her a little bit before I started this. She just hustling, bustling, and she is getting enjoyment of it. But there's something that happened in her past that's making her kind of regret the decisions she made from the past. I don't want to give it away because at the end it does kind of play a big part in her character growth. But it's kind of like a regret, and was like one of those steps that really hurt her relationship with our male lead, and kind of help on the downside, make it go, twirl downward. But besides that, she was a controlling freak. So, your movie, you're trying to watch this and trying to figure out, will the husband be able to break away from his controlling wife or ex-wife, whatever you want to call it, the girl he really loves? Will he move on? Will he be able to move on from her? And then with the female lead, she gets a stalker on her, but she also has a past about a guy that she used to love. And so the movie's about is these 2 leads are going to be able to move on through relationships that were not very healthy in the past. That's kind of what this is about. I'm going to give this a recommend. The photography is good. The actors are really well played. They really well play the characters. The characters are really well developed. You get to understand them, their motives, their actions. The one real villain on this, he really plays a psychotic person very well. He's very not likable. He's scary, very scary in his actions and his words. And, he really put 100% into that role, and he portrays it very well. But, it's not good enough to give it a highly recommend, which I think is like a fantastic movie that everybody will love it. This is a solid recommend, and maybe because it's kind of like the ending. Like I said, I don't know if the ending's going to satisfy the majority of the audience. On a movie like this, it's kind of blah. Like I said, whether that, the villain killed everybody or we get some closer, not the kind of open ending that we get. But it's not a waste of time. It's something you can binge watch. I just didn't choose a binge watch because I'm watching so many movies and TV shows, and I try to get so much in a week. And this is the only way I can figure out to do it, is to spread it out throughout the week. But I'm going to recommend it. I think it's a good movie. Not fantastic. It's definitely not a bad series. It's there. It'll keep you interested. If you're somebody who has like a Saturday or Sunday or just a day off, and you got 8 hours just to waste, you can just go right through them, through these episodes, and you'll enjoy them. Hopefully you enjoy this review. Thank you for watching it. Hopefully you'll return, and you'll get to listen to my lovely voice once again. Have a great day. Bye.